Be careful. The following episode of Blackwell Podcast has spoilers for all episodes of Life is Strange.
Hi everybody, welcome to Blackwell Podcast, where we love Life is Strange more than Samantha wants to protect Nathan. I'm Joey, and with me is Jamie.
Hello.
And Aaron.
Heyo.
Our other two guests, our other two hosts could not join us today, but we are here with a very special guest, none other than Hailey, who is the voice of Samantha. How you doing, Hailey?
Hi, I'm doing really great. I'm really glad to be here. Also, amazing intro, by the way. It's hilarious.
Thanks.
Do what we can.
Yeah, we try. We try our best.
Yeah, so I am Hailey Hayes, voice of Samantha Myers. I'm not really sure what else to say. I started streaming on Twitch recently, and that's been pretty cool. So that's awesome. Yeah.
What have you been streaming?
Just like IRL stuff, just
Okay.
working on starting to get like gaming things set up. So the first thing we're gonna stream is Life is Strange. Feel like of course. Right of
What's
passage.
that thing that you got, the new like layout thing that you're doing?
The layout?
Or it's like yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, wait. Where?
It's for the Twitch stream. You got like you were like going through something else, and it like you have like a new.
Oh, like OBS?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Oh, yeah, OBS. So OBS is like for PC streaming, and it's pretty much like a program where you can put like overlays and stuff to make your stream look nicer. It's also like if you do PC gaming, it's a good way to stream that. Someone's helped me create all of the like overlays that you see. So like I didn't create those. That was Ilya did that, which is like amazing of him. So
Nice.
it's pretty cool.
That's cool. So we'll make sure to have a link to your Twitch
Cool.
in the description of the video so people can follow that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess Jamie, if you want to lead us off with the questions.
Alrighty, so Hailey, starting off, what interested you into becoming an actress?
So I have been acting since I was 6 years old. I started off in theater, and I continued acting, not really knowing what I was doing because I was just like so young, and it was something that I had always been doing. And then in middle school was like the first time I realized, hey, wow, like I'm acting, like this could be something I could do for a career. And then up until junior year of high school, I had like a backup plan, but then my junior year, I did the play Our Town, in which I played Emily Webb, and my director was just like so amazing. Shout out to John D'Antono wherever you are. And he opened my eyes to like different acting techniques, and like he got me like the first time I ever cried while acting was like during that show. And I was like, you know what? No backup plans. Like, I'm going to do this. And then I've been doing film and TV for 2 years versus theater. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
A lot.
I remember that show in particular. I've seen a few plays, but that was the one that really like hit me hard. Like my brother did a performance of it in high school, and I remember I just like went to the bathroom and cried afterwards.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah, it is. But that's awesome that you were able to realize that and like devote yourself to it.
Yeah. That was like Our Town is like forever gonna be the play that I owe a lot to.
Do you think you might try to go back to stage, or are you sticking with TV and voiceover and movies or?
Yeah, if I ever, I love theater. The only issue with it is that it's a big time commitment,
Mm-hmm.
and it also, at least in LA, it's not very, like, it's hard to do theater in LA, but also, like, pay your rent.
Oh,
So,
right.
if I got to a point where I was financially stable enough to just, like, be able to commit to, like, 5 days of rehearsals, like a
Mhm.
week, then I would definitely do it again. I do miss it. Yeah.
It's just hard to do it fiscally.
Yeah, definitely.
So, how did you get involved with the Life is Strange franchise?
So I self-submitted on a casting website, and then I got called into an audition. I got called into audition while my car had been stolen.
Oh, God.
And it was also the day before a trip, so I was going to spend the night at my friend's house in LA so we could
Mhm.
leave from LAX. And so I had to lug in my like giant purple suitcase full of stuff into the audition room. And I was really glad that Phil was like super understanding about it.
Uh-huh.
And I came in for Victoria, and then Phil was like, let's try someone else. So he had me read for Samantha, and then I like left, and I didn't hear back for like a month.
Mhm.
And then I heard back, and I was like, okay, cool, this is awesome. And then a month later, the day before recording, I got the script for the first episode, and I saw Blackwell, and I saw Chloe, and I was like, oh my god, this is Life is Strange, and I literally screamed. Because I'm a fan, and I was like, no way, there's like no way. Like I like looked up like the casting company's name, and like was like, oh my god, like it actually is it. Like there's no other thing that it could be. So I can't like, because I didn't know what I had auditioned for, and I like freaked out. So yeah, that's how I got involved with it.
That's awesome. That's man, I can't imagine how exciting that would be.
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's something I love.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, I mean that kind of answers the next question, but so did you know anything about Life is Strange before you got the role? If not, what research did you do? And sounds like you did, so tell us about that.
Yeah, I was introduced to it by a now ex of mine, which is like really interesting. But it was cool. Like I was really into it. And I just like fell in love with like Max and Chloe and like Arcadia Bay. And I had played it in like the end of 2015. And so it had been 2 years since I had like seen the story. So when I did realize what this game was, I went back through like some playthroughs and like rewatched some of the episodes. So that like helped. But yeah, that's kind of like the only thing I did in terms of research was like rewatch it.
So you actually kind of you were there for almost the beginning of it.
Yeah, almost.
That's
awesome.
really cool, because I feel like you know, a few of the other guests we've had on, you know, Kylie, Rihanna, it seems like a lot of them were sort of new to the franchise, which is great because it gives them sort of a new perspective on things. But it's really cool to hear, you know, that you were into it already, and it was sort of like that much more impactful when you got the role.
Yeah, I think Trey, who plays Mikey, was also a fan before he realized what it was.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Cool.
So.
Okay.
Sorry, I had a follow-up question, but then I immediately forgot it. Sorry.
No. It's
It'll come to you.
Oh, so you mentioned that you had originally tried to get the role of Victoria. Unbeknownst to you, as Victoria at the time. But what was that like?
So I completely, like, now that I know that it was Victoria, I'm like, wow, that the voice that I did for her was like super Valley Girl, like Carrie Price. And then like I was like, oh wow, now that I know who I was auditioning for, I'm like, that was not right at all. So, but yeah, I'm really happy with getting cast as Samantha. I love her. She's so sweet.
Yeah, Samantha's a great character.
So I imagine it sounds like not only do they use code names for the project that you're working on, but also the characters. So there's no way to know.
Yeah, I think Victoria's code name was Taylor, so I'm not like 100% sure, but then there's like no other character it could have possibly been. So, yeah.
It's funny.
So once you got into the role of Samantha, there any good stories that came out of it from the recording booth?
Yeah, so Phil he's the one that I worked with the most, and he is just like an amazing vocal director. He really like knows how to get like great emotions out of you and everything. And for the line, you should be ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't help Nathan, he told me, like, we did like the A and the B, and then like we did like a couple more that was like, he's like, okay, but like you're really like try to like really make them feel bad or like stuff, like you gotta really like sell it. And he was like, I have an idea, like when you say the line, like flip me off. Mm-hmm. So then I did, and he was like, okay, that's the one. So during that line, I'm literally just like flipping off Phil. So keep that in mind.
Everything I hear about Phil from every one of the voice actors and actresses is just awesome. Like, he sounds like the best guy.
Oh my god, he's amazing. This is the biggest voice acting thing the biggest thing in general that I've ever done. But definitely, he's just fantastic. I have no amount of words to like describe how amazing he is at directing.
We've heard like across the board from season 1 and Before the Storm, we've heard nothing but good things about him.
Yeah.
Good. He deserves the recognition of it.
All right. So next question is, what do you personally think is Samantha's greatest strengths and weaknesses?
I think for sure her greatest strength is seeing the good in others and just, trying to be supportive for people that are knocked down. And as far as weaknesses go, I was thinking about this, and she has no weaknesses. No, I'm just kidding. It'd be cool. If I was to give her advice, I'd be like, Samantha, like, you can step out of your comfort zone a little bit. Like, she's a bit down on herself, which, something a lot of people are. But, yeah, I would say, like, she needs more self-confidence, maybe. She could be a beautiful, I don't know, like, flower or something instead of a wallflower.
Would you say a beautiful butterfly?
Yes. Oh my god. My heart. Yeah. Cute. Just like fluttering around with like Chloe's spirit animal.
She just needs her own chrysalis, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, she strikes me as somebody who is very compassionate and not fully self-assured, but she uses that to sort of just kind of relate and empathize with other people, which is a really cool and unique way to deal with that kind of thing, especially like in that phase of life in high school where everything is just so nebulous and weird. Yeah, for lack of a
And,
better
like,
term.
yeah, no, that's a great. And something that I also really liked about the character is, so the lines that I read for the audition were was like the very first conversation that you have with Samantha. So, when I got the part and I read like the full script, not the full script, but like the scenes that I was in for episode 1, it was really cool because I thought like Samantha was just gonna be like the shy, like quiet, like never does anything wrong, and then the like "you shut the fuck up" line comes up, and I was like, oh whoa, whoa, this took a turn. So I love that they didn't just like put her into the trope of like innocent and quiet, like they also were like she can stand up for herself too, which is really cool.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
seems
I
very
love that.
she seems very like very courageous, if not knowing what exactly she can do in situations. So that's why she kind of like goes to Chloe and is like, Chloe, you're the you're the one who doesn't give a fuck. So you do this. But she's always like, quick and courageous to like to at least initiate something that she feels needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely agree with like she needs to have that like backup if she like doesn't feel like she can do it on her own. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, I guess.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, her heart's in the right place. She just she needs to grow a little bit more and be a little more self-confident.
Yeah.
But on that note, do you relate to Samantha in any way?
I feel like Samantha is how I act when like I don't know people at all. Like it's really interesting because like I'm pretty shy in public, like meeting people like face to face, which is like interesting because like I realize when I'm streaming on Twitch and like like interacting with the fans online, it's like very different than like if I were to meet everyone like in person. And in person I'm more like shy and sort of like testing, like I test like the waters, like I'm like, oh, like I want to make sure like I don't like offend anyone or like I don't know, like trying to figure out the person first. So I feel like I'm like different. Yeah, like her in that way.
Yeah, it's kind of I mean it's different interacting with people face to face because you have body language you're suddenly aware of, and you're out of your comfort zone, whereas comfort of online, you're in your room or wherever, but you're in your like your own little bubble, and you can assume that most people that are watching you are there because they are interested in you. But
right,
kind of relating back to what you said, Joey, like we met for the first time 2 weeks ago, and kind of what you said about body language and everything, it's kind of hard to determine because we've known each other for 2 years now, and like first car journey, like on the way home, it was long because we had to go to another airport to drop my mum off, and it was just awkward because like we tried to make conversation, but it was hard because we already know stuff,
Right.
So it was like, yeah, how was the flight? Good, okay. Long. It's like, all right. Shit, what do I talk about now?
Plus, too, is just, like hours upon hours of being in an airport and on a plane and being gross and like tired. Just it's hard to be in a mindset of having good conversations.
Especially like on Wednesday when we met Sean and Chris. That fucking flight was rough.
Oh my god. Yeah, we flew into London that Wednesday, and I'll make this tangent really quick because it's not about our stories, it's about you, Hailey. But we flew into London, and it was just this miserable airplane ride, and the guy that was sitting beside of me, his breath was so bad, and like anytime that I'd start kind of dozing off or anything like that, I would just be like just jarred awake by the smell, and it was a misery, and it was cramped. And anyway,
how was the flight?
only like a little over an hour.
Yeah.
It felt like an eternity.
I was like, what 12-hour flight is that?
But anyway, I digress. Back to you, Hailey. So what's your favorite Samantha line that you've had?
Yeah, probably the "you shut the fuck up" line, just 'cause like when I first read it, like I said, I was just so like shocked and like surprised that they gave her like that extra like bit of personality, and like it's not something you see often, so I was like surprised, and I'm like, wow, like she can really like she can be sassy, you know? She can like stand up. That's cool.
Fire him out.
Yeah, that line really like it really took me back because I was like, okay, it was like, you know, Drew's like shut the fuck up, and then you know, the line happens. It's like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
got some
It's a
fight. It's
shocker.
like hell yeah.
She's feisty.
Yes, she is.
Alrighty, so on to the next question. Which student from Blackwell would you like to hang out with the most, and why?
I think I would want to hang out with Max the most because I love Rachel, but she also set Arcadia Bay on fire. So, I'm like, she's a bit problematic. I feel like, then I was like, oh, maybe I can hang out with Chloe, but then Chloe's also like a bit problematic, like in, not really, I guess like not so much in Before the Storm, but like I feel like she can be problematic sometimes. I feel like Max is the least problematic person that I could relate with and like chill with. Just like hang out. Like she would just be chill, you know?
Yeah, one of those low maintenance friends.
Yeah, just like, hey, come over, we'll like maybe take some pictures, or we can like, I'll play some guitar. I don't know, like it'd be really like, it's just like a chill day.
You and Max and Kate could go have tea.
Down.
There you go.
Anytime.
Yeah, we like Max. So, well, this kind of applies to something you already said, but if you were given the opportunity to voice any other character, who would you choose and why?
So I would choose Rachel, because I think Rachel is my favorite character. She was, I really liked her in Life is Strange, which is weird because she's like not there. She's just like this entity. But like, there was something about just like, I don't know, she's like she like wants to be an actress. And I was like, I want to be an actress. So cool. What? And I was like, I was really like looking forward to like meeting her in like a flashback or something. And I mean, like we finally got this chance, and she's just as cool as we were led to believe in Life is Strange. Yeah, I like her. Kylie does like an amazing job voicing her for sure. But yeah, I think if I wanted to play any other character, it would be Rachel.
Rachel's a very cool, like, just multifaceted character.
Yeah, lots of layers, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's sort of unpredictable. Like Chloe is flippant and she just sort of, you know, flies off the handle sometimes, but Rachel is very mysterious, and I think it's I mean, it's sort of inherent because in season 1 there was very little we knew about her, and now we're getting to explore this character, and it's like it's always making you want more, you know? So I definitely get that.
Even now, like that we've seen like her home life and everything, I still feel like there's just like this, like Rachel just has this like air of mystery about her still. Like even though we have like answers now, I don't know, she has like a mysterious personality, which is like something I've never said before, but it's about time.
Yeah, I mean, Chloe's like pretty much the only one in Rachel's life that Rachel can really like even begin to explore some of her, like, she doesn't have to have that facade on that she has around everybody else. Yeah. And I think that's
kind of like how like Rachel and Chloe see each other as humans and not just like from word of mouth, like, Victoria putting like Rachel on the pedestal, just basically everyone looking up to Rachel. Chloe sees Rachel as human, which is a really important relationship to see for them two.
That's a really beautiful way to put it.
So speaking of, going through things in your life, as we all do, what advice would you give to those who are either in need of help or seeking help for a friend?
So I would say, I know that you don't believe me right now, but things do get better. Yeah, it's important to say that I know you don't believe me right now because I doubt that, because when you're in need of help and someone says something like, oh, like, it'll get better, or like, you're so great at this, most of the time the person listening doesn't believe what you're saying. So,
right.
to say, like, I know you don't believe this, that sort of helps in some way because it's kind of a bit more of a bridge of understanding. Like, things do get better. Something that has helped me before is taking an event or something something solid, like, okay, I'm going on this trip, and usually I choose, like, the thing that's farthest away chronologically in my life that I just, like, I know it's going to happen. And then it's like, well, I mean, I have to at least make it to that trip. Like, I have to, like, make it until that day.
Yeah.
Because I'm really excited about that. Like, I want to make that happen. And then just, like, by the time you get to that date, like, first of all, you'll have done this amazing thing that you've been looking forward to for a long time, and it'll likely change your perspective. And also, by that time, like, you're such a different person 1 month ago than you are, like, 3 months ago. And hopefully your mindset will be a little bit better. And by then, you'll have something else, like, in the future that you can be like, okay, I'm going to peg this as my thing that I need to look forward to. And that helped me. I don't know. It's different for everyone, but it's helpful.
That's a really cool way to put it.
Yeah, we have very similar, like, outlooks. It's basically just plan ahead for the future and just wait until those events happen.
Yeah, that's helpful. There's, like, other small things you can do. Like, it does help to talk to people, even if you, like, you really don't want to. You don't have to, like, hey, I'm depressed, or, like, I'm really sad. Just, like, reach out to someone and be like, hey, how are you? And just, like, act like everything's fine. And then, like, usually people will be able to bring you up without even realizing it. Because if they're just, like, good people, or, like, they're just positive people in your lives, they'll be like, they can make you smile that day, or, like, something. There's, like, lots of little tips and tricks, or, like, just, like, Google, like, cute dog videos or something like that. That's also good. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of beauty in just the simple pleasures and
Honestly.
laughs and all that.
You kind of have to anchor yourself to, even if it seems small or trivial in the grand scheme of things, you kind of have to anchor yourself to something that can at least, pull you out of the miasma a little bit.
Yeah, and yeah, something that's also very helpful is, like, there's two things. Like, knowing that you are always in control of your own life is something that I feel like not a lot of people realize. Like, some people are like, oh wow, I hate my job so much. Like, I can't believe I'm stuck. And it's like, well, you're actually not. Like, you can leave whenever you want. Like, hopefully, no one's, like, forcing you to just, like, stay in whatever job you're in. Like, you can explore other things. There are other options, like, if you really, really want to. And then also, oh no, I'm, like, forgetting what it is. Why? I will get back to it.
Yeah, if it comes back to you.
Yeah. Being a good person is helpful. I don't know.
Yeah, I found on that sometimes, if you know, like if you have a good friend or something that's going through something, kind of reaching out to them and trying to help them. You can't always do it, of course, because like if you're in the throes of despair, then it's hard to. But if you're feeling down and you're feeling like a certain level of ennui, you can reach out to someone else that you know is like going through something and try to help them out a little bit. That can help too.
Right.
I found.
Also,
that's a really good point, Joey. Yeah.
Yeah. If you think about things logically too, that can help. Sometimes you're like, if you think like, okay, I'm upset. Why am I upset? And then think about, instead of just letting yourself be upset about that thing, think, okay, is there a way that I can change this? And how can I go about changing it? If it's something like a breakup, like that's out of your control, but you can still be like that's sad. And I mean, it's okay to be sad about things. That's the other thing. Like, it's valid to be depressed or upset. But there is like knowing you'll eventually move on from it, or like if you're upset about, for example, the breakup, you're like, well, this person's not in my life anymore. That's really sad. But then you could be like, but there are other people in my life who make me happy. Maybe I should try to hang out with them more. Or like, if I feel lonely, like, why don't I, like, well, do I reach out to my friends often? If the answer is no, then you're like, okay, well, I can try making more plans with them then. There's like little things that are helpful. Yeah, that's like all of my advice on that.
That's good advice. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have our questions from fans coming up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, let's get right into it then. So our first question is from Martin, and they would like to know, have you listened to any of Daughter's songs? Which are your favorite, and what or how do they make you feel?
Yes. So I have listened to all the songs that are in Life is Strange, just from playing it, but Youth, I had heard that song. I heard that song because I found it in like a Gravity Falls like fan art video.
Nice.
It was a really good video, so I like already have like some fandom emotional attachment to it. And then when it played in the second episode, I cried because I was like, wow, wow, this song. So I don't want to like attach sadness to it necessarily. I don't know, like songs make you feel like a range of emotions at different points. So it's hard to like attach like a single emotion. Like I don't even know if I could describe what emotion I feel during it, but makes me cry. It's a good song. I don't know, it's like emotional backing.
That was actually Youth was the one song that I heard from Daughter a couple years ago, and I had been meaning to listen to them more, but I just kind of forgot about it. But then, they came on with BTS. I was like, oh, man, awesome. And then Youth was in episode 2, and it was like a song that I already loved, so it was really nice hearing that.
That's got to be an awesome, like, surprise if you already know it. Because literally, like, since I've started playing Life is Strange, like, I think maybe with the exception of Lua by Bright Eyes, there's been every single song that they've incorporated into the game is something new that I haven't heard. So it's just been awesome. And with Before the Storm, I never heard Daughter before, so it was just like a totally new experience. And I had a friend who I would send music back and forth with, and like I sent him like a couple of Daughter songs like from the game that I really liked, and they were like, "Man, you're obsessed." And I was like, "Well, I mean."
It's a good band.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like really cool seeing it. Yeah, it was cool like already knowing and then having it come back.
Seeing it in that application.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was also like that's how I knew, like when I saw that they were doing the music for BTS, I was like, oh my god, they're the people that do Youth. So that's cool.
That scene with Samantha and Nathan. It's fucking great.
The clapping one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about that scene at all. I didn't know that was going to be there. So I was surprised, too, when it happened. And I was like, ah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I guess there's no dialogue during that part, so you wouldn't know.
Yeah. It makes me wonder now. I'm like, what's going to happen in episode 3 that I don't know about?
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Cool. So our next question comes from Chris. He says, I loved your closet cosplay. Which Life is Strange character would you most want to do a full cosplay of?
Okay, so I actually am planning to cosplay a few characters from Life is Strange. I'm not... So I definitely want to cosplay Samantha. I feel like I have to, like, gotta do my girl.
Pay homage.
Yeah, exactly. And then after doing the closet cosplay video, I kind of really want to do a Max cosplay, like a full-out Max cosplay. I think that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd also want to do, like, a Rachel cosplay, but I'd want to do, like, maybe her usual look, but maybe if I could figure out how to do it, like the Tempest costume would be really cool to, like, cosplay.
Ooh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool if I can, like, I can't sew, so, like, if I can find someone to assist me, that would be helpful. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Well, we all look forward to seeing what you got.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah, we'll do.
Okay, so our next question is from Valerie RV, and they'd like to know, who are your favorite movie characters?
Ooh, okay, well, my favorite movie is Imitation Game. So Alan Turing's a great character. I'm trying to think, like, I feel like I relate more to episodic things than standalone movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that since Imitation Game is my favorite movie, that Alan Turing is probably my favorite character. If you count the Harry Potter movies, like Remus Lupin and Ron Weasley, and Ginny Weasley, just like all the Weasleys, basically, like all the Weasleys plus Remus Lupin are like my baes.
I'm not a big fan of Percy.
I actually like my friend, my best friend, who, like, she's the one that told me I had to read the books. She was like, she hates Percy, but I really love Percy Weasley. Like, I think he's a great character. He was actually, like, the first book when he comes in, I was, like, immediately in love with him. And then they're like, okay, just wait until he gets bad. And then, like, books keep going by, and I'm still like, I freaking love Percy. And I mean, okay, I do admit, like, he is kind of like, he's kind of a dick to, like, his family when he's, like, with the ministry and all that, but he repents and everything's okay. So yeah, he's got a good arc. I like characters with good character arcs. That's the most important thing to me when it comes to a character.
You heard it here, folks. He has the Hailey Hayes stamp of approval. No, I think he does have redemptive qualities. I never, like, hated him. I thought he was kind of a jerk, but, you know,
Yeah.
He's an alright guy. He's part of the Weasleys.
Yeah, if I met him in real life, I definitely wouldn't like him. I wouldn't like him if he was, like, a real life person that I had to deal with. But since I'm, like, removed from it and I can just, like, I feel like he's just such a character. Like, I don't know. I have a lot of favorite characters that I would hate to know in real life, and, like, if I met that person in real life, I'd be like, wow, they're a terrible person and I don't want to be anywhere near you. But but, like, when I'm so far removed from, like, them actually existing or, like, their universe, I'm like, they're so cool. I like this person. Also, I have a theory with Percy, if you guys want to hear it.
Go for it.
So, I feel like the reason Percy, like, turns against his family isn't completely his fault, because he's constantly, like, attacked by his siblings for his accomplishments, and like, even though it's like, I have 2 younger brothers, so like, I totally understand like sibling like jokes and stuff like that. Like even then, it's like him being a prefect, like Fred and George like won't like let him live it down, and like he has 2 older brothers that have like accomplished a lot more than like he has, and so he's got like that pressure on him. And then like when he finally gets to be like an assistant to the minister, like he's like, guys, it's like this is the best thing ever, and then his dad's like, that's terrible, you have to quit. So it's like he's got some like there's some reasons why he does like what he does. So I don't know, justify some stuff for him.
Yeah,
some issues he's got to work out.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of characters with issues, Snowy Cookies wants to know, what are your thoughts on Nathan?
So it's actually funny because my thoughts on Nathan have changed. When I played the first game, I was not having it. I was like, no, murder is murder. Like, Nathan's a terrible person. But then when I got the script for episode 1, I was like, oh, this is the direction that they're taking Samantha in. And I was like, oh, that's like, oh, that's interesting. But through Samantha, I had to justify why she feels that way about him. And in Before the Storm, you also see, like him not like you see him before we see him in Life is Strange, and they did a really good job of like justifying why he is that way. From Sean Prescott being a complete asshole to like I think that there's like a letter that you can find and you can see that like Nathan has some mental disorders that probably affect what's happened. And then I've read fan theories about like the fact that like Jefferson probably manipulated him. And I do like after the first game I didn't like I knew that Nathan regretted what he had done. Like he's not soulless. Like he made a mistake. It was just a really big mistake.
Right.
And so because of that, I was able to justify, and my position on Nathan actually flipped after Samantha changed my mind. Look at that. So yeah, after really looking into it more, I decided that Nathan is a good kid, and if anything, I can be like, I like the Nathan in Before the Storm, but he like gets up to some bad. He goes a bad direction, and Life is Strange. Not character-wise, just not like the writers, but like just like the character.
Right.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have anyone to save him from himself. In
Yeah.
fact, just the opposite. Like the people that do come in his life are like extremely like they use that for their own gain, with e.g. Jefferson. But
right. And that really is like the weird part about a prequel too, because I mean, I'll just say I think that they've done an amazing job with Before the Storm. I think it gives a lot of context and a lot of insight into the characters that we've grown to love. And somebody like Samantha, who wasn't previously introduced, is really compelling to me because she plays a crucial role in supporting a character that we already know and giving some backstory and insight as to who he really is. And I'm curious to see what they do in episode 3, but moreover, it's just it humanizes him. You know,
It really does.
I never really hated Nathan, and especially, in season 1 where he is contrite and repentant of the things that he's done. I think they are horrible, but I never hated him. And it's very hard for me to hate a character, but I digress. No, I think that it's really interesting to see that side, and I'm very glad that they're showing it, and also using Samantha as kind of a I don't know what you call it, just a supporting role in that story. And that's why I find her so interesting.
I never hated Nathan. I just couldn't get behind justifying his deeds, you know?
Right.
That's the only thing. Yeah. But as a character, I could tell he didn't mean it. Like, he was being genuine when he said, like, I didn't mean to do it. So, that's what shows the good in him.
I think it doesn't justify his actions. It doesn't, like, it doesn't make what he did okay, but it does, like, you learn, like, he's suffering and he's not exactly in control of what he's doing. So there's some sympathy there. It doesn't justify it, but it does bring about some sympathy for him.
For sure. So on the note of, I guess, I don't know, this is sort of a tone change, but we have our last fan question from Melda asks, are you obsessively in love with a character from Life is Strange?
Obsessively in love. All of them. I'm in love with all of them. I've really grown to love Hot Dog Man. I don't know if that counts as like a character, but like he's pretty great. I like, honestly, I didn't realize he was there when I actually played the first game. And then it was, like, only through the fan art. I was like, what the hell? Like, who is this Hot Dog Man? And then I realized, like, he's there. So, like, the fact that, like, I played the game and I was, like, eluded by him, I was like, what are you? I just love, like, things that you're just like, why are you such a thing?
I wish
he's
Zach
pretty
was
great.
here right now.
He is our resident Hot Dog Man expert.
Oh, God. Good.
You know, Hailey, have you seen Diane has a Hot Dog Man mug?
Good. Everyone should own, like, I think every Life is Strange fan should own one piece of Hot Dog Man merch.
Yeah.
Because he's draw a small Hot Dog Man and put it in, like, a random area of your room where you'll one day forget about it, and then one day, when you least expect it, you'll just, like, find Hot Dog Man. And you'll be like, what is this?
No, I love that idea because I grew up around the Washington, D.C. area, and I knew a couple people who would just go around and, like, randomly tag things. Like, I was with, like, a coworker, and he was, like, the quietest guy ever. And then we were walking around D.C., and he just starts, like, he pulls out, like, a silver Sharpie and just starts tagging things. And I would love it if people just started tagging Hot Dog Man everywhere.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. That would be so cool. Yeah. I hope I find just, like, a mural of Hot Dog Man, like, over the Hollywood sign. Just, like,
you gotta zoom really close, but there he is.
Yeah. Wow, what an icon, honestly.
I love how this just little inconsequential thing that Edward came up with to, like, just add some world building has become such a phenomenon in the fandom.
Yeah.
That's why it's so amazing.
I really want to do a thing where there's this, like, app where it's like a GPS kind of thing, but it leads you towards, like, treasure that other people have put there, and you kind of
geocaching?
Yeah. I was thinking if I'm ever, like, traveling or something, I just like leave a post-it note with Hot Dog Man just smiling, just like in there, just like, well, if someone gets it, they'll know.
I wonder how many weird things you find while geocaching. Like, I wonder if you just, like, I don't know.
I've had a ball.
I wonder if there's ever, like, any, like, sketchy stuff that geocachers find. They're like, this is someone's right shoe. Why is there only one of them? What happened to the other pair?
Man, some of the like hiding spots are, like, super elaborate. Like, they'll have like bugs or rocks or stuff that have like pull out compartments.
Yeah.
And that's where they'll keep, like, And so like even though you'll have the coordinates, you know, you'll go to the location and all that, it'll still be like super hard to find because you have to look to.
find
It's pretty crazy though.
That's actually really cool.
There was
Yeah.
You can basically be Nick Cage, a national treasure.
Oh hell yeah. I remember like I was like on the app with my parents because they were really into it for like 2 weeks and then just gave up. Where we were in like this forest area and there was like, okay, it's here somewhere, and behind these like old branches and ivy was a bunker, and like halfway through the bunker and like in the ceiling there was a pipe, and in the pipe had the thing wedged in there. It was like, how the hell did somebody get in here, you know, without like disturbing the vines and everything, and put it up there?
Well, that is so cool. I think I'm gonna have to try this. You guys have just like turned me on to a new hobby of geocaching.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff that's done with it, especially like when it gets kind of mixed in with like urbex stuff. So it's pretty cool.
All right.
Well, thank you to everyone who sent in questions. And Hailey, thank you for answering them for us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Honestly, it's always a lot of fun hanging out with you guys.
Well, good. Glad you enjoy it.
Yeah.
I know we certainly had a blast. So.
Definitely.
Cool.
For sure.
So that's Hailey Hayes, everybody. Make sure to follow her on Twitter. Check out what other social media you got, Hailey?
I have Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitch.
All right, so make sure to follow her on all of those things. We'll have links down in the description box. Follow her on Twitch so she can become a partner, and you can subscribe to her, and she can get money. And like and retweet all her tweets on Twitter.
Do everything.
Every single one.
Yeah.
All of them. I'll know if you don't. I'm just kidding. I obsessively keep track. No. See, now I'm gonna leave, and they're not gonna know if it's true or not.
Keep them guessing.
That's great.
Well, Hailey, thank you so much again for joining us.
Yes.
And again, thank you for joining us on the Extra Life stream. It was a pleasure having you both times.
Yeah.
What a blast.
It was a great time.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, take care, and we will move on to some housekeeping.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Have fun with housekeeping.
Bye, Hailey.
Bye,
Thanks
Hailey.
for joining us.
Okay, so let's go into some housekeeping then. First off, let's talk about Extra Life because that was a thing 2 weeks ago.
That was a thing.
Yes.
You need. So basically, we streamed for 24 hours for charity for the San Jorge Children's Foundation.
In Puerto Rico.
We exceeded our goal again, but we even exceeded last year's total, which is amazing. So our grand total was $6,258.
Oh, did we get another?
We got another couple of donations like as soon as the stream ended.
Oh, awesome.
Which is
Yeah,
amazing.
thank you guys so much. Whoever donated, whoever participated.
All your
You're the
names
best.
will be in the credits for this episode. It was a pain, but I was able to get everybody because for credits, it was like taking up the screen like too much. I had to split it into 4 different sections, which is fucking crazy.
Also, a big, huge thank you to, if you're listening to this, to all of our guests.
Yeah, of course.
And we
appreciate
got to end it with talking to Luke and Michelle.
You did. You enjoyed
well,
it.
Yeah. But Michelle, whom never had the opportunity to speak to before, and there was just so much amazing work going on, and it was all possible because
Of the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
our listeners, the fans of Life is Strange, people that donated, the people that joined us. We had a couple people that stayed with us the whole 24 hours, which is incredible. So big shout out to them as well. And it was an amazing, amazing experience. We surpassed how much Square Enix
did during their stream in 2015, which is unbelievable. We never thought we'd do that.
Yeah, and not to spark some wanton rivalry here, but we did it, and incredible. Yeah. And we had Alex with us. He's always a joy to talk to.
Yeah.
So yeah, sincerely, thank you so much.
And we did save it, so you can check it out on the YouTube page if you didn't catch it live. The VOD is on YouTube now.
Yeah, and it should be in, I believe, 4 6-hour segments.
It's in 3 8 hours.
Yeah.
I was able to cut it down a little bit because the max upload time is 12 hours. So it's all right, what's the biggest I can do in equal parts? It was 8 hours done. But
it worked out pretty well.
Cutting that video was a bitch though, because trying to load it into Premiere is it took 2 hours to load the video in. It's fuck.
And we'll try to I don't know when, but we'll try to get some of the highlights cut too, so you can go to them, Hannah's songs,
the Quiplash game.
The Quiplash game. Each one of our guests. Diane was with us in spirit. It didn't work out, but I know she really wanted to be there. So the sentiment. Thank you for the sentiment, Diane. If you're listening,
I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
it was it was one ride. It was a hell of a ride. All right, moving on. Let's talk about next week's episode. So, next Saturday, the 16th of December, we are going to be talking to none other than Dylan Winfrey, who provides the voice of Mikey in Before the Storm. Which
that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk to him about it because honestly, Mikey is a character that I kind of relate to a lot. So getting to talk to him is really, really something I'm looking forward to. So, we've opened questions, which we announced on Twitter and all the good stuff. But you have until Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern to send them in. You can send them in.
That is Tuesday, the December 12th.
Yeah. You can send them in at blackwellpodcast@hotmail.com. You can direct message us on Twitter if you want. And you can also use the online form on lifeistrangefans.com as well. So,
you can also get in touch with us on our Discord as well.
Oh yeah, on our Discord, just at the admins privately.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that episode next week, we will be taking a holiday break for the holidays, and we won't be doing episodes until maybe February.
Yeah, we'll try to get back into it early Feb. And we'll have we still need to do an episode on
episode 2?
Brave New World,
and
we'll also have
Hell is Empty as well.
Yeah.
Fuck.
All the devils are here. So we'll have that coming up. So give us the time to recharge a bit, and we can also work on getting some more guests in, and
all the good stuff.
We have the farewell episode, which don't know when that'll be coming out, but we have that to look forward to.
I'm probably gonna live stream that episode, to be honest, because
you were saying you were saying you're gonna stream
episode 3 as well.
Episode 3 too.
Yeah.
Can we talk about it, please?
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard.
I'm not ready. So, I have a little bit of a personal announcement right now, if that's okay with everybody.
Sure.
Okay, so next month, I'm going to be attending Anime Los Angeles, which is fucking crazy. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a scavenger hunt where I'm not sure what day yet, but I'll announce closer to the time I'll be there. But if you find me, I will be giving away an exclusive Life is Strange merchandise, which is not commercially available.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. So yeah, if you find me, make sure you let me know, and I'll give you the thing. I'm not telling what the thing is.
Yeah, all you Where's Waldo experts,
Yeah.
This is Find Jamie.
Yeah. So look out for that. So with that said, we should end the episode now, right?
Yeah, I can't think of anything else we need to touch on. So
Yeah.
As always, thank you so much for listening to us.
Thank you so much to our patrons as well for supporting us,
Yeah.
making sure we keep doing what we do.
Yes, and thank you again to Hailey for
Yeah.
joining us. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She's a lot of fun.
And with that said, we will see everybody next week with Dylan. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Later.
Ooh.